the day of Modi winning his third term cannot be overlooked. China has a lot to lose if India wins. China grudges India's peaceful rise. China hates it when India is wooed as a democracy and not seen only from the transactional lens of trade and commerce. We need to do some plain speaking with the Chinese on this aspect of their sustaining, bankrolling, and perhaps guiding the Pakistani terror machine. Apart from wanting to give a communal spin to its terror acts, Pakistan could also be testing the resolve of the Modi government to conduct elections to the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. The Supreme Court has mandated they be held by September 30 this year. With the kind of voting that was recorded in the general elections, another successful exercise of franchise in Jammu and Kashmir would put paid to any Pakistani propaganda on international platforms that India weakens democracy in Kashmir. While we need not be affected by what the world would think if election got delayed, the government should take a call if we need an operation all out in the forests and hills of Jammu to send across a message to Pakistan yet again that India's march to progress would not be slowed by its nefarious designs. If there's any further escalation, world capitals should be told that Pakistan would be held responsible. There's no rule that surgical strikes can happen only once or twice. We have done one over the land in Uri, through air in Balakot. This time, it might well be the sea. Moving on to the second one. The bullet that 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks fired from his assault rifle at the Pennsylvania rally ground last Saturday killed one president's chances to come back to office. And it's not Donald Trump. Come November, Trump has everything going for him to be the next president of the United States. No, let me correct myself. He had everything going for him till Saturday, but post that assassination bid, he's unstoppable. It's Joe Biden who might have taken the ricochet from the bullet. Those 9 seconds have been dissected ad nauseum now, including on your own Republic TV, giving a long list of security lapses. Briefly, let's look at those lapses with the videos on your screen.
Take a look at what happened.
One, Crooks was seen at least half an hour before the shooting at the rally venue, complete with a rangefinder and a backpack. His presence flagged by Trump supporters. Yet the agencies lost his track in the crowd. 2 videos have emerged of him being brought to the notice of cops on duty second time when he's seen crawling up that shed from where he took the shot at Trump. Again, no reaction from the law enforcement agencies. 3, despite knowing that there was an active security situation at the venue, Trump was allowed to arrive and take the stage. 4, once the shot is fired, Trump ducks on his own. If you go back to the visuals, you realize that the nearest Secret Service agent is at least 5 meters away. That's not proximity protection by any definition of the word. 5, the counter sniper took down Crooks only after he had fired as many as 7 rounds, killing 1 and injuring 2 other rally goers. That's a slow response time. 6, Trump was allowed to take his 5 seconds and do his fist in the air number before being whisked away. In that melee, it is unlikely that the Secret Service agents had an all clear on the shooter to let Trump raise his head and do that gig for his supporters. 7, and for that, let's go back to security preparations before the event. Basic security protocol of occupying heights that can give any would-be assassin a vantage point to shoot was not followed. In fact, the place Crooks occupied gave him direct line of sight to Trump from a mere 150 meters. 8, and this might be peripheral, but of consequence for investigation. Crooks' parents had intimated local police hours in advance of him missing in a manner that worried them about his well-being. Why were they worried? Did they know their son had scooted with his father's rifle? Were they aware of his state of mind in any manner? Records have shown that Crooks searched for symptoms of depressive disorder at least once on his laptop. July 13 would be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds. Crooks posted on an American social media platform called Steam. There is now ample information to show that Crooks did a recce of the rally venue in advance. His planning included arranging a ladder, which has led to another conspiracy theory. How did he know that exactly that shed and that roof would be available without a Secret Service sniper or law enforcement presence? Trumpsters and Republicans erupted in anger. Secret Service, the agency charged with protecting American presidents and presidential candidates, much like our own SPG, was slammed for incompetence. Its head, Kimberly Cheatle, has been lampooned and reviled since then for injecting wokeism into the service to an extent that professional merit stands compromised. The lapses are glaring, obviously. A lady agent is seen struggling to put her weapon back into the holster in one of the videos. Another lady officer is seen ducking lower than Trump with the first burst of firing. But that can be a sexist way of looking at things. Cheatle's target of having up to 30% of the agents made up of women is not different from India trying same with its state police forces. More likely, the very visible incompetence of cops on duty or failure of security protocols were a product of the Secret Service having not faced a similar situation in the last 4 decades. The last time an American president was shot at was in 1981, when Ronald Reagan was hit and wounded in Washington, D.C. Reagan, of course, survived. Investigations, both internal and external, would throw some light on these issues, and for sure the gaps would get plugged. But conspiracy is thick in the air already, made easier to piece together by the lapses I listed earlier. Let us look at some of them. Did Trump get this done to solidify his grip over the election to make it one-sided. So the left loonies believe. One host on ABC was heard suggesting that much when she said that how come Trump was given 9 seconds to raise those fists, shout, fight, fight, fight. Essentially, Trump staged the attack and was allowed to present a profile in courage, according to this theory. The thought is aided by the fact of assailant crooks registering as a Republican voter some time back. There's another one according to which the US deep state orchestrated it. To what objective? Maybe to force Biden to give up his second shot at the presidency. Then why? Because Biden has been on a mental decline, and a big section within the Democrat establishment is worried that this is not good for them and not good for America. And then again, this falls on Crooks himself, for he made a small $15 donation to a Democrat-leaning political action committee on the day Biden won his election in 2020. Podcaster and Trump supporter Dan Bongino claimed he had spoken to an unimpeachable source in the Biden administration and was told that the rooftop from where crooks took that shot at Trump was supposed to be an occupied police post. The fact that it was left unmarked and unattended indicates towards a conspiracy, according to Bongino, who added that he was told by the same source that the Secret Service chief had been asked to remain shut or lose her job. Cheetle did not help her cause when she attributed absence of an agent atop the shed to the sloping roof. I should quote it because even I found it funny. That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside. She's supposed to have told an interviewer. The argument was shred to pieces, with even the likes of Elon Musk joining in the debate. Pictures popped up of Secret Service agents standing atop the sloping White House roof, of cows moving on sheds with sloping roofs. Even the counter sniper who took down crooks was on a roof with greater incline than the one which was left unattended and hence occupied by crooks. Cheetle has also been mocked for bringing in the Iranian terror angle. Her admission, in fact, was a twin-edged sword. If the security around Trump was, in fact, upped, as she claimed, after the Iranian threat, then the lapses become preposterous. Combat veteran Shane Parnell, a Trump supporter who was present in the front rows at the rally, posted his picture punching holes in some of the Cheetle arguments. I should quote from this post. Everyone needs to see this photo to appreciate the tactical negligence that occurred during the assassination attempt on DJT, that's Donald J. Trump. This photo was taken just minutes before the first shots were fired. DJT is oriented towards the shooter at his point. Look in the upper left of this photo. That is the building. Look how close it was. Direct line of sight to DJT. You can see my wife and I to the right of the Secret Service agent in the front row. There is no excuse to not have someone on that roof. None. It amounts to the most stunning incompetence and negligence in a tactical situation that I have ever been part of. Ever. It's simply incomprehensible to me how this happens. The only thing that is more incomprehensible to me is how the director of the Secret Service still has a job, unquote. Another Trump supporter, Matt Wallace, made a direct charge at the Biden administration. According to him, there's someone in the Butler County Police Department who informed crooks in advance that the shed which he used for his shot was in fact going to be left unattended. Let me quote him also. That unequivocally means there is a snake in the Butler County Police Department who made sure that an opening was available for the shooter. He was given his marching orders by the same deep state operative who dictated that the Secret Service would resign their duties to protect the most critical building. The conclusion? It's almost impossible for so many things to align without a hand pulling the strings. That hand must be found and eliminated before the next attempt at Trump's life is successful. Unquote. These conspiracy theories are not just social media fodder. Mainstream Fox News host Jesse Waters directly charged federal agencies of hiding information in the light of these missing links. America is no stranger to both political assassinations and conspiracy theories. Famously, the killing of John F. Kennedy spawned over 1,000 books, most subscribing to one or the other conspiracy plot. All of them junking the official Wallace Committee report, which found none. It speaks volumes about a society that one of the Kennedy theories targeted then junior CIA operative George H.W. Bush. Yes, the same Bush who not only went on to head the CIA, but also became the President of the United States. Ultimately, it is about a political culture that accepts violence, both verbal and physical. Of late, it has evolved into what is termed as cancel culture. Biden has regretted his choice of words on Trump. For his part, in the first campaign video released after the shooting, Trump has resisted the temptation of using visuals of him under fire. Is better sense prevailing? We don't know yet. Trump is winning and Biden is under pressure to opt out of Democrat ticket ahead of party's convention next month. So, in a way, objectives of conspiracy theories from both sides stand proved. Nevertheless, the live TV shooting was something Hollywood would have struggled to produce. As the host of The Apprentice, Trump himself is not unfamiliar with the grip that reality TV can have on audiences. But I'm not starting another conspiracy theory. Thanks for watching.
largest news headquarters. Setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
डिटेल में सारा पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के फ्लोर लीडर से उनका मत को लिया, सुझाव को लिया, हमने नोट किया और आग्रह भी किया कि हम मिलके बजट सेशन को अच्छी तरह से हम चलाएंगे.
Countdown to budget 2024 begins. Kiran Rijiju briefs media after crucial all-party budget meet. Bangladesh top court orders 90% of government jobs to be allocated on merit-based system. Bangladesh Law Minister Anisul Haq speaks exclusively to Republic on the Supreme Court's decision to scale back the quotas in government jobs. NTA releases center-wise data on NEET. Over 4,000 students score 600 and above in Rajasthan's Sikar alone. Nipah virus returns to haunt Kerala. 14-year-old from Malappuram dies hours after testing positive. Samajwadi Party raises Kavar Yatra diktat by Yogi government at all-party meet. Objects to display of name of owners along the Kavar Yatra. 3 pilgrims dead, 8 injured after landslide in Kedarnath pilgrimage route. All right, welcome friends. Let's begin this Sunday 5 p.m. live and breaking with the information coming in that Anurag Thakur, senior leader of the BJP, has launched a fiery attack at leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over the red copy of the constitution he has been seen waving both in and outside of parliament. In fact, Thakur accused the Congress of disrespecting the constitution, and the reason is that the copy which Rahul Gandhi holds in its preface has words of condemnation for the emergency which was brought in by Indira Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi's grandmother. Let's listen into what Anurag Thakur has said.
Shri Rahul Gandhi waving a copy of the constitution with him wherever he goes, both inside the parliament or at the public meetings. And this is the copy what he waves, जिसको हिलाते रहते हैं. What is hilarious is that Shri Rahul Gandhi has not even apparently read even the foreword and the preface of the constitution copy published by the EBC, which he waves. Had he read it, he would have answered when I asked how many pages the original constitution has. He would have known how the generations of Gandhi dynasty has been exposed for their systematic assault on the same constitution.
All right, from one breaking to another, coming in from Bangladesh this time, where Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has held a meeting with the Prime Minister's security advisor, Chief of the 3 Armed Services, Cabinet Secretary and Principal Staff Officer of the Armed Forces, and has given them instructions regarding the overall security situation in the country. This follows a decision by the topmost court of the country, the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, quashing the decision of the Hasina government of giving 30% reservation in jobs to the families of those who had fought the liberation battle or war of independence of Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina there seen in the pictures having this top-level security meeting. She is, of course, as Prime Minister, heading the National Security Council as it exists in Bangladesh, made up of the security advisor and the chiefs of the 3 arms of the defense forces in Bangladesh, apart from other officials, including the cabinet secretary. And these pictures clearly giving an idea of the kind of seriousness of the situation that exists in our neighbor to the east. We have seen Bangladesh facing violence over the last 1 week over that decision of Sheikh Hasina, with protesters essentially affiliated to the BNP of Khaleda Zia and some elements of the Jamaat-e-Islami, and some suggest that with backing of some foreign elements, hitting the streets, leading to violence which has caused over 100 deaths. All right, staying with this story on Bangladesh, in fact, after the top court scaled back the job quotas that sparked deadly unrest, Republic spoke to Bangladesh Law Minister Anisul Haq. Republic happens to be the only channel bringing to you this exclusive first reaction coming in from Bangladesh of someone senior in the government after the job quotas were scaled back by the Supreme Court of that country. Let's listen into what he had to say.
আনিসুল হক সাহেব, আমি ময়ূক বলছি, রিপাবলিক বাংলা ইন্ডিয়ার সিনিয়র এডিটর, আমার কলকাতার নিউজ চ্যানেলে।
বলেন।
অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্যার,
বলেন।
সুপ্রিম কোর্টের যে রায়টা, যুগান্তকারী রায়টা, সেটার বিষয়ে আপনার একটু প্রতিক্রিয়া চাইছিলাম।
আমি তো বেলা 4টার সময় প্রেস কনফারেন্স দেখেছি, আমি তো আমার প্রতিক্রিয়া দেব।
হ্যাঁ, ওটাতেই আমরা ভারতে এটা নিয়ে খুব বড় রায় এবং যেভাবে আপনারা এই পুরো ব্যাপারটাকে ট্যাকল করছেন সেটা নিয়ে যদি একটু প্রথম প্রতিক্রিয়া দিতেন রিপাবলিক বাংলাকে।
না, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে আমি এখন অর্ডারটা আমার অফিসে যাচ্ছি, আমি অর্ডারটা ওখানে পেয়েছি, আমি অর্ডারটা পড়বো। আমি অর্ডারটা পড়ে আমি যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত না বুঝবো কি অর্ডার দিয়েছে আমি ততক্ষণ পর্যন্ত মুখ খুলবো না। আমার অর্ডারটা পড়তে হবে, অর্ডারটা পড়ার পরে আমি এই অর্ডারটার ব্যাখ্যা বুঝে আমার প্রতিক্রিয়া দেব।
আর আইনমন্ত্রী হিসেবে কি আপনি এই বিষয়টাকে একদম খুব কাছ থেকে দেখছেন এবং এটা নিয়ে কি যথেষ্ট গুরুত্ব সহকারে বিচার করবেন?
অবশ্যই। তার কারণ হচ্ছে যে দেখেন, এই 2018 সালের পরিপত্র দিয়ে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী কিন্তু কোটা প্রথা বাতিল করেছিলেন এবং সেই কোটা প্রথা বাতিল ছিল এই হাইকোর্টের দ্বৈত বেঞ্চের রায়ের আগ পর্যন্ত। আজকে আপিল বিভাগের এই রায়ের পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে কোটা যেই রায় হাইকোর্ট বিভাগ দিয়েছিল সেটা বাতিল হয়েছে এবং এখন কোটা নাই। কিন্তু তারপরেও আমি শুনেছি, সংবাদ মাধ্যমে জেনেছি যে আপিল বিভাগ কিছু তাদের নিজস্ব বক্তব্য দিয়েছেন। তাদের আমাদের সংবিধানের 104 অনুচ্ছেদের ক্ষমতা বলে। আমাকে সেটা দেখতে হবে, আমাকে সেটা বুঝতে হবে এবং তারপরেই আমি এটার ব্যাপারে সুস্পষ্ট মতামত দিতে পারবো।
আপনার কি মনে হয় যে নৈরাজ্যটা চালানো হচ্ছে এটা ছাত্র আন্দোলনের নামে, কোথাও গিয়ে বৈদেশিক শক্তির হাত থাকতে পারে যারা বাংলাদেশকে অশান্ত করার চেষ্টা করছে বাইরে থেকে?
দেখেন, এটা আমি বাংলাদেশের আইনমন্ত্রী, আমি তথ্য প্রমাণ ছাড়া কোনো বক্তব্য দেওয়াটা আমার জন্য বোধহয় রেসপন্সিবল স্টেটমেন্ট হবে না। আমি যেহেতু সম্পূর্ণ তথ্যাদি আমার হাতে প্রমাণাদি নাই, সেহেতু আমি কাউকেই আমি বলবো না যে বৈদেশিক কোন শক্তি এটা করছে। আমি এটা এখন বলতে পারবো না। আমার কাছে যদি তথ্য প্রমাণাদি আছে তাহলে আমি বলবো। ধন্যবাদ, আমি এখন যাই।
Law Minister of Bangladesh, they're suggesting that the government is closely monitoring the situation and would keep close tabs after the Supreme Court order. And of course, since it's Supreme Court, the order would be implemented. Moving on, and by staying with this story, Republic also managed to reach the India-Bangladesh border in Meghalaya, through which Indian, Nepali and Bhutanese students have been rescued from Bangladesh and brought back to India. My colleague Anirudh also spoke to one of the students who was part of the team repatriated from Bangladesh. Listen in.
I am at the Indo-Bangladesh border in Dauki, and here joining me on this broadcast are students from the Women's Medical College in Sylhet. They have come here after being escorted up to the border by the Indian Embassy officials. Joining me on this broadcast are few students from the Women's Medical College in Sylhet. What are the problems that you faced during all these days in Bangladesh for the last?
Assalamu alaikum. There is complete lockdown in the whole Bangladesh and also Sylhet also. And we are from Sylhet Women's Medical College, and our college is closed for up to since 1 week. And as we are final prof examining, so we were facing lot of problems there. There were food crisis, and we cannot go outside, and we cannot brought things there. And all of the Bangladeshis, of course, they went to their homes, and we were there. So Indian Embassy helped us a lot. and Swapan sir, Manas sir, they all helped us a lot, and Scout came with us up to the border. So we didn't face any problem while traveling to the border. It's all safe.
Not only students from India are stuck there, but also students from Nepal and Bhutan are also.
College only. Nepalis are also there, and Indian embassy helped them too.
Any crisis that you faced while being on campus? Were there any problem?
Actually, not that much, but somewhat food crisis we faced. But we went from there, right? On the right time, we went from there, and I think it's a big opportunity we get from the Indian embassy. And if we stay there, then we can face the problems. The students are.
Anirudh, in fact, joins us live from the Dauki border, from where that report was filed. Anirudh, we believe there are about 8,000 plus Indian students studying in Bangladesh, of which your report suggests about 1,000 are back. What happens to the rest of them? Are they taken care of? Are they safe? And is there a plan to bring them back as well?
Yes, Abhishek, already approximately 1,000 students have returned to India through the various borders, be it Khaura checkpost in Tripura or the Sonamura checkpost in Agartala, and also through Silchar as well as Dhubri, and in fact the Dauki border in Meghalaya. Today we went to the Dauki border, and there we witnessed the homecoming of around 36 students from who are students of the Women Medical College in Sylhet, and they have spoken to us and have expressed gratitude to the Indian embassy. Not only the students of India, but in fact the students from Nepal and Bhutan were also escorted by the Indian embassy officials. Today there was an absolute curfew in Bangladesh, all across Bangladesh. No movement of any other vehicle was allowed. That is the reason why there were very few people coming in from the other side and very few people going towards Bangladesh from this side. But yes, it was only the Indian embassy which managed to evacuate the students through the various borders today. In fact, few of the students also came back to India through the West Bengal, and they have spoken in length about the measures being taken by the Indian embassy in Dhaka in order to ensure safe movement of the students. It may be mentioned that most of the students with whom we interacted today are final year students of MBBS, and their exams were scheduled in the first week of August. Now with the ongoing situation is still remaining grim, their exams has been postponed indefinitely, and the students have a lot of stress in their minds as they come home with an uncertainty over when they will be able to return back and appear for exam. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Anirudh. With that Supreme Court decision, hopefully peace would prevail in Bangladesh and those students could go back to their courses. Moving on, a week after the assassination bid in Pennsylvania, former US President Donald Trump was back to the campaign trail. Trump delivered his first speech in Michigan, accompanied by his vice presidential running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. For more, here's our report.
Former US President and Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is back in the campaign mode. In the latest, Trump held his first public rally in Michigan since he was injured in an assassination attempt last week. Trump was also joined by Ohio Senator and GOP nominee for Vice President J.D. Vance at the mega public rally. Before Donald Trump's historic speech, Vice Presidential nominee Vance welcomed the former president amid loud cheers from the crowd.
I find it hard to believe that a week ago, an assassin tried to take Donald Trump's life, and now we've got a hell of a crowd in Michigan to welcome him back on the campaign trail.
During the rally in Michigan, Trump also thanked his supporters and well-wishers and also highlighted that something very special happened that day.
Let me begin this evening with a very special thanks to Americans nationwide, including all of you here today, for your extraordinary outpouring of love and support in the wake of the horrific last Saturday event. And when you think of it, it was exactly 1 week ago today, almost to the hour, even to the minute. What a day it was. As I said earlier this week, I stand before you only by the grace of Almighty God. That's true. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. Maybe JD or somebody else would be here, but I shouldn't be here right now. But something very special happened.
The assassination attempt has strengthened the Republicans and particularly Donald Trump ahead of the 2024 presidential elections. While Donald Trump is back with a fight-back attitude in the race for the White House, the big question is, how will the Democrats handle the challenge? That still remains to be seen.
All right, let's move on and take a look at some top stories from across the world in this international wrap. Israel's military confirmed that it bombed sites affiliated with the Houthi militia in Yemen a day after the terror group's explosive drone killed a man in Israel's Tel Aviv. The Yemeni Houthi terror group claimed that the strike targeted oil storage and other facilities in Yemen's Red Sea port city of Hodeidah, and that several people were either killed or injured. An Israeli airstrike on Saturday night on the southern coastal village of Adlun hit an arms depot and was followed by a series of explosions that hit nearby villages with shrapnel. The Israeli military said that about 45 projectiles were detected crossing from Lebanon into northern Israel in 3 separate barrages. It said that some were intercepted while others fell in open areas, causing no injuries but triggering several fires in the Golan Heights. A small group of Pass the Torch demonstrators comprising of activists and Democratic voters gathered outside the gates of the White House on Saturday, calling on Biden to end his quest for a second term as U.S. president. Skeptical Democrats doubt Biden can keep the White House after his debate performance last month and worry he will take hopes for party control of Congress down with him. Flash floods in China have left as many as 20 people dead. A further 8 people died in Sichuan province, while 30 others went missing after flash floods swamped Xinhua village in the southwest of the country. The disaster occurred at around 2:30 a.m. Saturday, damaging over 40 houses and affecting 1,000+ residents in the village. Almost 2 weeks after Beryl hit, heat-related deaths during the prolonged power outages have pushed the number of storm-related fatalities to at least 23 in Texas. A combination of searing summer heat and residents unable to power up air conditioning in the days after the Category 1 storm made landfall on July 8 resulted in increasingly dangerous conditions for some in America's fourth-largest city. Beryl knocked out electricity to nearly 3 million homes and businesses at the height of outages, which lasted days or much longer for some, and hospitals reported a spike in heat-related illnesses. All right, a massive protest erupted in Tel Aviv to demand an immediate exchange deal with the resistance in Palestine. Here's a comprehensive report on this story on exchange of hostages, which Israel government is under pressure to make a deal of.
Thousands of protesters on Saturday thronged the streets of Tel Aviv to demand a hostage deal with Hamas. Demonstrators and relatives of hostages held in Gaza have been protesting against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but the war has continued unabated. This recent protest comes before his trip to United States next week, where Netanyahu is expected to address a joint meeting of Congress.
Netanyahu is going to the States to to speak out in the Congress, but I wish he could sign the deal for the hostages before he goes, so we can speak about that. I wish he could speak to Biden or whatever to help us bring them home and to get all the publicity and the care for our hostages, because they're talking about, if he's going to talk to his base over there, he's going to do a major mistake, I think, because there is no time left. The time is now. We need the deal now, to seal the deal.
There is a growing unrest among the protesters as the war continues to rage on in its 10th month.
We have to replace this government with much more democratic government, which will see the citizens as something that valuable to take care of, because the local government doesn't take for the citizens.
About 120 hostages still remain in captivity. However, according to Israeli authorities, about a third of them are believed to be dead.
Right, moving on and to another breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Arrested by economic offences. All right, we have breaking news in connection with the NEET scam, where we have a confession of the arrested accused to the economic offences wing of Patna Police. The 32-year-old Nitish Kumar has made a stunning revelation during his confession. My colleague Piyush Ohri, in fact, has more on this. Let's go to Piyush on that. And Piyush, what can you share about this confession that this NEET accused has made to Patna Police? Okay, Piyush, if you are getting me
at the moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
आवाज आ रही है?
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, good evening Abhishek, and good evening to all our viewers who good evening Abhishek, and good evening to all our viewers who are viewing us at the moment. And you rightly mentioned that we have been able to access the confessional statement of a person identified as Nitish Kumar. Now this person is a 32-year-old person who was arrested initially by the EOU unit of the Patna Police, and in the confessional statement that he has made under CRPC 161, which is admissible as per the code of law, he has admitted that how he was approached by a person known as Sikandar Yadavandu, who told him that with his associates, that includes around 4 to 5 boys, he will be able to leak the question papers of the NEET 2024. In fact, such was the confidence of Sikandar Yadavandu that he said that those people who were interested, those students who were interested in getting to know the answer key should be brought to him, and they would be made to memorize the answers of the questions a day prior to the NEET examination. So yes, this was actually, this NEET paper was actually also leaked, and the students were also made to memorize the answers to the questions in the room which was organized by Sikandar Yadavandu. Now, along with Sikandar Yadavandu, there was also a person identified as Amit Anand, who was orchestrating and who was organizing this entire paper leak scam, which was unearthed by the EOU unit of the CBI, or EOU unit of the Patna Police, and now is also now being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation. So yes, from this confessional statement, we now realize that how deep the nexus of paper leak scam actually is, and perhaps this can just be a tip of an iceberg. The investigation is ongoing by the Central Bureau of Investigation. There have been arrests that have been made by the EOU to begin with, and also the CBI of people who were leaking these papers. And now there have also been arrests of students who were solving these papers. So yes, a deep nexus indeed. Back in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Piyush Ohri, with those details on the NEET scam. keeps getting bigger. And now on to Jammu and Kashmir, where information coming in suggests that security forces have launched extensive searches along the international border in Samba to locate potential terror tunnels. Special operations group of the Samba police is conducting these operations based on intelligence inputs suggesting that terrorists active in the Jammu region might have used tunnels to breach the border fence. I'm told Gursimran is going to join us live with us on this very important story. Remember, Jammu region of J&K has seen a spike in terror activity over the last couple of months, almost all of them happening post the Modi government coming to power for the third term, suggesting that Pakistan is really uncomfortable and has changed its strategy and is focusing on Jammu, given the tight security grid that's in place in Kashmir, making it difficult for Pakistan to breach it. Gursimran, is this going to be a sustained operation, given the fact that these tunnels possibly could have been used by the terrorists to infiltrate and then create safe hideouts in the forests and hills of the Jammu region? Or is it just one-off intelligence-based operation being carried out by the Samba police?
See, when it comes to the anti-tunnel drive, Abhishek, this is a sustained operation that are being carried out by the Special Operations Group of the Samba. This time we are told that the SOG Samba team led by its SP rank officer G.R. Bhardwaj has carried out the anti-tunnel drive, and as we speak the drive is still underway in the areas close to the Regal, which have been traditional infiltration routes using tunnels into the Indian territory. Yesterday also, during the meeting that was chaired by the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, that was attended by 6 chiefs including from the CRPF, BSF, Jammu and Kashmir Police, as well as the heads of the IB and the RAW along with the army chief. It was discussed that the international border and the BSF fence is being used for infiltration, and there lies a possibility of a tunnel being used by the terrorists. And today, after specific intelligence input, the Samba police launched an operation, and this operation will continue throughout this year. That is what we are getting to know, because they are saying that there is likely possible likelihood that the terrorists are using tunnels to sneak into the Indian territory. In the Kathua, it has been proven by various of the witnesses and the evidences that the Kathua police has got that a large-scale infiltration has taken place, and now the Samba police is trying to ensure that if there is a terror tunnel that is there, that can be detected earlier. Because see, a head of fence that is for the BSF to see, near their post that is for the BSF to see. But there is a high possibility that the Pakistan is digging the tunnels that can enter deep inside the Indian territory, so that it does not get detected by the BSF. And in back side, it is the Jammu and Kashmir police that has now launched the operation, Abhishek.
All right, thank you so much, Gursimran, with those updates. Hopefully this would be a sustained operation to smoke out those